another one of these many crazy years that you had. 2008 in Bruges, the mob boss, I guess you would say, of these Dublin hitmen, the Duchess as another terrific period piece, the Reader as the adult version of the boy who had had an affair with the war criminal. And by the way, I guess that was a reunion with Anthony Minghella because he was producing it at the time of his premature
that's right.
passing.
Yeah. Mm.
And then, right on the heels of that, is The Hurt Locker, where you're back with Catherine Bigelow all those years after Strange Days. And I wonder if you can just talk a little bit about that one and her, and I believe even the cinematographer on that, Barry Ackroyd, I think is somebody who you then worked with when you began directing shortly after that. So just anything you'd like to say about that run that I've just listed.
Catherine
in particular, yeah, because and we'll remind folks because we're now on the 15th anniversary of her becoming the first female Best Director Oscar winner for that film.
Well, to talk about Catherine, she directed Strange Days. I loved working with her. She's fantastic. There's an energy and in the best sense, an insistence about the way Catherine works. She drives quite hard because she's sort of always looking for some energy or quality or some dynamic in the way that the actor and the camera interact. There's a sort of a visceral quality in the way in which she pushes the set, pushes the actors. It's very exciting. And I'd love working with her on Strange Days, and she had this script, The Hurt Locker. Jeremy Renner is the principal bomb disposal officer, soldier, set in Iraq. Guy Pearce is in it also in a small role, and I was asked to play a smaller role. It was shot in Jordan, and I went out for 2 or 3 days to play a kind of one of these rogue mercenary types who I think were in the desert in the Iraq War. It's a challenging film about being in the front line in enemy territory, and you'll see from her films she's very interested in a lot of her films in aspects of masculinity in war or in confrontational situations. But it was three very intense days with her, and and Barry Ackroyd was the DP, who has this wonderful. He comes from documentary. He has a wonderful he's a genius of handheld camera. So I ended up working with him about 3 years later on this film Coriolanus.
So we're gonna now take a look at In Bruges and The Hurt Locker, and then we are going to talk about Coriolanus.